I'm wondering though, did you receive any notification, any warning about the possibility of flash flooding or heavy rains?
There were a couple of flash warnings that came through on the text system. To be honest, this was in the hours that I was asleep, and there's been so frequent these different types of flood warnings that I didn't really register that. To be honest, it was probably the last one I got, or the only one I noticed after the fact, was 1:40 in the morning, maybe. And I couldn't tell you honestly if it was a warning or a watch. You know, there's always a flood watch or a warning here. So with everybody being asleep, that was the hardest part. It was pitch dark. The power was out. We're in the water. If I hadn't already been living on the property for some time, 6 months, and been familiar with it, I would have been swept away because I wouldn't know which way to go.
Notice the time difference between these flash flood warnings that were issued and the peak of the flash flooding that occurred in the Hunt, Texas area around 4:30 Central Time. There were several hours of advance notice, ample time for people to move to higher ground and for the local officials to take action in order to move people to safe areas. And so the question is, now that the warnings were there, the question now is what did local officials and the people that were responsible for safety at the camps, what action plans did they have for handling flash flooding, and what actions did they take? The worst of the flooding occurred at night, and flash flooding and tornadoes and other severe weather that happen at night are especially dangerous because that's the time that many people are sleeping. And so that's another reason that it was so important for the RV establishments, the RV camps, the other camps, sport camps that were in the area, to have somebody designated to be 24/7 watching for weather warnings and taking the appropriate action. Organizations like that have the safety of many people in their care. Flash flooding can happen very quickly. Many times survivors talk about how quickly the water rose. And we see from the observations along the Guadalupe River that this river, which is typically moving very slowly and might only be 3 feet in its water level at a particular location, rose quickly within an hour to a raging torrent of 30 feet of water that was 30 feet high. And that just well outside of its typical banks.
偷偷告诉大家，我最近发现了新法宝 Royal Face 逆时奇迹系列，它有活肤露、全效精华，还有精华霜。尤其我皮肤比较偏干，所以我非常的注重保湿。保湿做得好，肌肤自然烹润。提亮肤色更年轻，抚平皱纹超有感，而且气色变好。用心保养，每天都更美丽。美吧。